Welcome everybody to another spicy speculation video where we look over some spoilers coming in the next patch of Paladins. And, well, what a time to be around. There seems to have been sprung up several data miners. There's not just one now, there's lots of people picking up on what's going on in the files. I've got the link down below to a Google Doc with all of the sources for what I'm going to talk about. So first off, on the XLAU one, he had another look into Khan, and I've got some more speculation surrounding this. So we know some of his cards and abilities. So his escape ability, his F, is some form of shout. We don't know exactly what this does, but the cards give some hints. So there's hold the line 1, heal yourself for an additional 30 each level when activating shout. Second one, open fire, activating shout generates 2 ammo and times by 2 by the card level. And into the breach, activating shout grants 4% movement speed and times it up for each of the levels for 3 seconds. Now, of course, the cards are changing, so the level 10s are going, and they're being changed to level 5. So I'm guessing maybe that would be up to a 30% movement speed if we're going by other cards for other champions. The next ability, the Q, is their grab, and it's called Commander's Grab. So there's some more guesses here, but I'll go through the cards first. There's Close and Personal 1, gain damage reduction for 3 seconds when you hit an enemy. Then there's Martial Law, when you hit an enemy with Commander's Grab, it generates ammo, and hitting an enemy with Commander Grab heals you for a small amount, so 40 scaling by 40. I'm going to guess that might be higher when the cards are fully fleshed out. But there's a bit more of a guess with this one. A lot of people have been bringing up the fact that Ares in Smite has a form of chain, a sort of grab thing that cripples people. So it's like a 3-chain thing, and it slows enemies and does damage. And if you hit all of them, they do a lot more damage. It could be very well something more along these lines, where you hook something out and grab onto them and slow them down. But my other guess is, if you look on his back again with his wings, I wonder whether the shout pushes you forwards at all. It says it gives you extra movement speed, but again, do you pull yourself in towards the enemies? Could you pull yourself in along this chain? Either way, it's just something to think about, and I've taken the footage from the main Smite channel, as I don't have any footage from Smite, unfortunately, and can't download it at the moment. The next thing is his weapon, is an in-hand weapon. There's a card called Storm of Bullets. It makes your weapon fire 60% faster and has 10 more rounds, but deals scalably like around 30 to 40% less damage. But this is, I'm guessing, well, I'm almost certain is a legendary card, and this will only be 1 level when it comes out. But this gives us an idea that it's likely some form of pistol, or maybe a shotgun again, because if it has bullets, then obviously it's a gun. Because I talked about like a static pistol, electric pistol, so I guess that spicy speculation's out of the window. Finally, there's some form of shield, and it stays up for a period, and again, I talked about this, I don't know how he's going to hold it, or how it's going to work. Is it going to be an individual shield? It's still not really clear here, but there's Vigorous Defense 1, which heals you whilst your shield is up, and there's also increased healing whilst your shield is up, like a inbuilt Rejuvenate. The only thing that points to maybe a personal shield is that Khan, at the moment, only has 3,500 health points, so it could be like Torvald, where it sounds like a lot of his abilities heal himself, but also perhaps there's a personal shield to go on top of that to sort of give him his tankiness. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on, but Khan also has 2 listed legendary cards. So the first one is champions affected by a shout have increased damage, which means that the shout is likely some sort of buff that also affects all of your allies around you. The only reason I thought that there might be a way to pull yourself in with the hook is it says another one, the other legendary is hitting an enemy with Commander Grab will cause you to hit with your shoulder, causing knockback and damage. So I wonder whether it's only built into a legendary card that you charge into someone, whereas normally perhaps it just sort of slows people down, snares them. One other big thing they are bringing out, I don't think it's coming with OB67, is there's some of the skins already data mined for this Asiatic event, this Asiatic adventure. So they talked about Paladins adventures when they were talking about taking away cards and bound, how they wanted to monetize the game. So they wanted themed events and to have loads of skins around that, and in-game things that you play around with. So there was going to be the Asiatic map, which is already out on the Chinese version. They are working on skins for Genos, Ceres, Ashe, Xin, Sky, and Ying for this collection of this Asiatic theme. This one, again, is probably not next patch, but maybe the patch after. And it's Genos Exarch, Genos Ceres Asiatic, Ashe Future, Ying red and gold, and sky pink and purple. It's very limited at the moment, but it's interesting to start speculating a little bit about the adventures. But it's just generally going to be loads of sort of Asiatic themed skins, I think, coming out. Something interesting I'm guessing is coming out now is they're working on a Winter Olympics themed collection of weapons for Grover, Torvald, Vivian, bonking, Fernando, and Pip. There's only colours hinted at, apart from the white star. I'm not sure who's that's for. Maybe that's for bonking if he's throwing out stars. We'll just have to see. But there's the Arctic Potion launcher for Pip. They have actually missed the boat here. I don't know whether the sort of releases recently and this new Unbound system has put that off, because obviously the Winter Olympics has just closed. The next big thing from Taco de Pip is they are adding new talents to the game. These are what legendary cards used to be. My only worry with adding more legendary cards or talents at this point is that it was pretty difficult to balance for, and there are a hell of a lot of useless talent cards out there at the moment, and some that are just broken, and especially the ones that are just a damage bonus just don't feel all that great to use and don't exactly have the same effect of being the sort of talent that redefines your champion. My hope would be that perhaps they'd redux and get rid of some of the ones they put in with OB64 and maybe replace them with some of these, because 4 is pushing it already a little bit, and I'm kind of worried that they might push them just so there's something to grind with their new grind system, whereas it would actually have quite maybe a bad effect on the balancing. Either way, let's go through them, because some of them are actually interesting. So the first one on Androxus is he has a new legendary card planned where a cursed arm lasts 8 seconds longer and can be fired 8 more times and charges faster. There are actually quite a few that are related to ultimates, and my only worry with this one is that it might make the game a little bit more focused around the ultimates being up all of the time. I know there is one for Ash, and it's not necessarily the best one. I don't think you'd hardly use it anyway. But these big ults might shift things to where, I guess, Overwatch is, and sometimes, and I prefer that a little less. I like the fact that in Paladins, most of the gameplay is centered around your normal abilities and your gunplay. But just let me know what you think in the comments section below. The next one's pretty awesome. So barracks turrets now fire flames instead. So like your ultimate, there'll be like a close AoE with probably a bit more damage and a spread, which I think is actually pretty awesome for a barracks setup, because it'll really benefit the more aggressive barracks, just putting those turrets down, getting in people's faces. The next one is for bonking, which will make the Poppy Bomb deal bonus damage and cripple enemies. So I guess if you're running away from somebody and you put it down, you jump away, it means that the enemy can't follow you because they can't use their escape ability to chase you down. We'll just have to see how that one works out. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know how much damage they're expecting here either. The next one, again, is an ultimate thing, and this one's quite ridiculous. So, Dragon Punch now deals damage equal to the max life of the target as the area of effect and charges faster. What's interesting here is that it's only to the max life of the target, so if you hit a flank and then next to a frontliner, and the frontliner's on full health, the frontliner is going to survive and only take, say, the 2,000 odd health of the Sky if they're next to them. But there's also another one where it says the amount of booster you have also works as shields to absorb damage. A bit of a weird one for Drogos, but I guess I could see that working out, just making him slightly tankier. I don't know whether these are just ones they're testing out, and of course I don't know whether these are coming with OB67 either. These might be something that they're going to work on for a long time. The next one is Fernando, and it's just basically a buffed up version of the charge, a bonus damage on that. I guess I could see that, but an interesting one to Inara here, actually. I think this one's really interesting. Some of the damage received is instead dealt to deployables, so it's like a damage reduction, but it sort of defers the damage. So as long as you've got your wall up, you've got your little Waters field up, then the damage is going to go through. I think that's a cool way of doing it, actually. Lian's got another damage one, so for every enemy hit by Valor, the damage is increased. Yeah. Moldamba's got, for every second gold heals or deals damage, its cooldown is reduced. That's a pretty cool one, actually. I like the idea of that because it just gives an option to sort of always have this AoE heal up. Maeve has got a pretty awesome one, actually. I think this one might be one of the ones that I would like to see. So, weapon hits reduce the cooldown of 9 lives. So basically you can get all of your abilities back quicker by actually hitting people with your weapons. It A, like, rewards your skill, so if you actually can hit people, and B, it's just a cool idea because it's got the reset involved and things like that. I like that. The Pip one, deal 100% more damage to chickens. For each chicken you killed, you gain some ult charge. This one's actually not so bad because it is hard as a pip at the moment to kill your own chickens, and I do feel that sometimes maybe they should kill almost always kill the first one, and sometimes it is a bit hard. So yeah, that's okay, but again, emphasis on the ultimates. The next one is Ruckus. Missile launcher deals more damage the longer you hold the button. I don't know whether I'm having a brain fart now, but I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe somebody could let me know in the comments. Okay, so Sky has also got a really interesting one here. So enemies inside the smoke bomb will be silenced. That's a pretty cool idea, actually. I've talked about this before as being something base for Sky as an option, just because you can stop people from getting away. This might actually make her a bit more viable. Talis, Blitz Upper deals more damage based on target's lost HP. I don't like the one on Maeve really that much. And I don't know about this one on Talis. It's just increasing damage again. Talis has got protections gain a second charge. That one's actually pretty cool because it just means that you can put it on 2 people at once. So, whoa, that's quite a biggie. But I don't know how they'll balance that one out. Victor's, I'm not sure. It seems like the translation was wrong. Like, heal yourself during haste or cardio, but that's already exists. The next one, kills increase sentinels damage until you die for Vivian. That's ridiculous. It'll be so annoying. It's already annoying enough. But I think the problem is if you play against somebody, maybe as a newer player, and a Vivian gets her ultimate up, she's probably just going to keep getting those kills, and it'll get bigger and bigger. I just think that this will just annoy new players that couldn't take out the Vivian in the first place. And yeah. The next one is Ying. Heal yourself every time you use Dimensional Link. I actually think that's rather cool. It's kind of a solo ability, but I don't know whether it would be usable enough in most situations, because you kind of might want to pick the extra damage or the extra healing. That's just a self heal again. Well, we'll see. I just really wish they'd bring some sort of main heal for Ying. My thing was talking about maybe giving some sort of heal onto the main weapon, so when you fire at an ally, they get healed. Maybe if your illusion's already locked onto somebody and you shoot them with your mirror, then they get a bit more of a heal than they normally would. Something like that could work, where it's more of a skill-based thing, to give an option for Ying to be skillful at the high level. I know that normally, unlike the devs have said, that she's more of like just a casual champion that adds a bit of damage to the game, but isn't the main healer and isn't at the higher levels. But I mean, I think there could be some wiggle room there. Zin's also had this world deals more damage based on target's lost HP. Yeah. There's one champion that's just completely question marks at the moment, but eliminations increase your maximum life until you die up to 5 times. That could be interesting. I don't know who that's for or what it is, but that's okay. It's a bit like the Sarah's building up your HP. So those were pretty much all of the legendary cards. Be sure to let me know what you think about some of these effects, and whether or not, like me, you'd rather they perhaps stick with 4 and get rid of some of the ones they already have that aren't working so well, or if you have a different idea for legendary cards altogether. Another change that XAU pointed out is that they're adding a new effect for basically their report system. So if you are reported, it will message you saying continue reports against your account can result in negative action on your account. So just sort of like a, oh, you're very naughty, slap on the wrist sort of thing, and a scare for people that are being reported a lot. And apparently if they do ban somebody, it will say an action has been taken against a player you have reported. But we'll just have to see that. The proof's in the pudding on how it's actually going to work. And I still think they desperately need to put a hacking option at the bottom instead of other. I don't get why there isn't, and still isn't. Come on, hi-rez, what you doing? Anyways, I'm not as interested in the skins so much and dances, but there is a Tyra Drakefire skin, Strix Mercenary, Leanne Galactic Scion, the Vivian Biker. I could see that working out with the leathers, to be fair. And then there's some dances, the Ying Carnival dance and the Valentine's dance. They've kind of missed the Valentine's boat as well. I don't know whether it's because of all these updates. And the Badinger announcer pack, which is one of the Smite chaps that are over at hi-rez. Anyway, what does everybody else think about all of these spoilers? And as always, I don't know how much is actually coming in the next patch, and whether or not these things may never see the light of day. But let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. If you thought this video was interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, and subscribe for my content if you want to see more. And be sure to hit that bell icon because, well, YouTube, and it probably won't send it you, even if you are subscribed, because it's very silly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Joshino.